Earlier today, folks, here in this auditorium, we caught up with Derrick Johnson, who was the president and CEO of the NAACP, longtime head of the Mississippi State Conference of the NAACP. Here's that conversation.
So before we talk about voting, you know, a whole lot of our history has happened in this place we're in right now.
You know, the beautiful thing about this building, many people may not recognize, we made democracy work for African Americans out of this building. Not only was the Mississippi Freedom Democratic Party founded in this building, but the Conference of Freedom Organizations. It was an umbrella group of NAACP, CORE, SNCC, and SCLC doing the civil rights movement to force the question of full citizenship. Cortland Cox, one of my mentors, was over the SNCC Legacy Project. He typically said that in Mississippi, we forced the question that black folks could, in fact, have the right to vote. And we went to Selma, then to Lowndes County, Alabama, to make sure we could control the vote. And that's what we're talking about today. How do we control the vote of African Americans to elect an individual who will be accountable to our needs and interests?
People talk about safe spaces today.
Right.
I mean, this was one of those safe spaces for black folks in the 50s and 60s.
One of three places in the state of Mississippi where black folks could convene and discuss issues of freedom and civil rights. Here, Tougaloo College, my alma mater, and Mary Holmes College is currently closed, but this was one of the places that we could actually meet.
When we talk about making democracy work, we just saw Stacey Abrams not concede, but make it clear that she is going to fight for voting rights there in Georgia. You look at what happened in Florida, Andrew Gillum losing by less than 35,000 votes as well. And I made this point on my show, and you were on it. You know, if Broward County and Miami-Dade County, if we had voted 65, 70% turnout, that changes the game in Florida.
You know, the number one thing to fight against vote suppression is voter turnout. You know, vote suppression is the problem, but if we increase turnout, it's less of an issue. This is a game of inches, not miles, and every vote counts.
People don't understand that elections in this country are not federal elections. No. They're not even state elections. Mm-hmm. They are local. When we say local, they're not even city elections. Mm-hmm. They literally are. Matter of fact, it's not even county elections. That thing goes precinct by precinct. I mean, so you might go in one precinct, and it's a whole different thing that's happening compared to the next precinct. I mean, my parents worked elections. They worked them in Houston, and I worked them in Dallas County, in the area of Dallas. And they take that job very seriously. But when you hear these stories of, well, one person over here being told one thing, and another person being told, oh, this person over here being new, and ballots got misplaced, stuff along those lines. I mean, this is the fundamental problem I think still facing us, and it makes no sense to me.
Not at all. You know, on election night, I was in Atlanta. We filed 3 lawsuits on election night because of the administration of the election procedure for specific precincts. We need a federal election system. In fact, our election system should be a matter of national security, and that's why Congressman Thompson will be coming forth with a bill
Benny Thompson.
to make sure that it is a matter of national security. When we have a foreign nation tampering with our elections, when we have inconsistent voting machines, when we have a company like Diebold, who's nothing more than a tool of the conservative movement to manipulate outcomes, there's no way to have accountable access to whether or not your vote as you cast it represent the integrity of your interests. All those things are important to address in order for us to have a functioning democracy.
One of the things that also I think when you talk about getting people to understand, so obviously filing those lawsuits, making sure the machines work, making sure people are properly trained. But I also think that what we have to do is connect these dots for people who really don't understand. I was, earlier I went to the home of Medgar and Merle Evers. And I'm driving, and I know I hit at least about 30 potholes.
That's all?
Right. And the thing is, what people don't understand is, so somebody may go, oh man, okay, complaining about a pothole. Well, the question is that a city?
That's right.
Is it a county? Who's responsible for it? People not understanding that when you think about the census, that has a direct impact on dollars that are then appropriated to states and counties for things like roads. I mean, we can go down the line, and so I can go through every, in fact, there was one I was driving, and I went over a speed bump. Well, first of all, you just can't put a speed bump on a city street.
That's right.
Some politician, some bureaucrat had to approve that speed bump on that street. And so I think in many ways it's trying to connect the dots of people to understand that you may think that you're living off the grid, as if your life isn't impacted by politics. That is nonsensical.
The air we breathe is a result of public policy consideration to make sure it's fresh air or air that will poison us. Everything we do. You know, you talk about the census. That's our next project, NAACP. That was an argument, and many of us talk about the 3/5 debate. That wasn't about whether or not we were human or not. That was about whether or not the federal appropriation would follow the individuals after the count would take place. And the deal was cut for northern states and southern states. The northern states said, we're not going to give you money for individuals you consider property, but you want to count as people. The southern states, well, we're not going to pass this set of legislation. Compromise. Well, if you count them as 3/5, not a whole person, and give us 3/5 of the money per person, then that's a deal. They cut the deal. It wasn't about people. It wasn't about values. It was about money. In a democracy, our vote is our currency, and that currency needs to be leveraged collectively to ensure that our streets are paved, to make sure that our tax dollars are serving our interests, but most importantly for African Americans, to make sure we are owners of government and not victims of government. And you can only own government if you participate and leverage your vote.
All right, folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment. With the holidays just around the corner, now is the time to order holiday cards for family and friends. This year, you could create custom holiday photo cards, real simple and easy and affordable, by going to simplytoimpress.com. Simplytoimpress.com is your holiday photo card headquarters with thousands of unique Christmas cards and other designs to choose from. Look, all you got to do is upload your family photos or get them from Facebook or Instagram, personalize the text, and you're done. It's that easy. Folks, simplytoimpress.com prints your cards professionally on your choice of premium card stock in just a few days and rushes them straight to your door. Now, the New York Times Wirecutter named Simply to Impress their favorite custom photo card service. Simply to Impress even offers foil cards and hundreds of great holiday card designs for your business as well. So you can place your order today and save 30% to get free shipping. Now look, it's all you got to do is use the promo code DEAL. That's DEAL at checkout. Save big on holiday photo cards today using promo code DEAL at simplytoimpress.com. Again, simplytoimpress.com. So please support those folks who support Roland Martin Unfiltered. Now back to your Roland Martin Unfiltered video.